All right. So I realized, let me do this real quick. Where is it? I realized that I was watching back the live stream and I was like, what is going on? Because it wasn't clear. It should be much clearer now. How you doing, Miss Ariana? What's going on? um, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out what's going on because it was blurry. So I think I got it figured out. Actually, my wife figured it out. You guys were it was auto focusing on my hand, keeping it focused, but you guys weren't able to see the actual drawing clearly. So I've made some adjustments. Well, again, my wife made some adjustments. So it should be we should be good. I think we're good. You guys should be able to see it clearer now. Hopefully. Hopefully. Even though I'm looking, yeah, it looks good. It looks better. So like last week, if you notice, or yeah, it was last week. I kept saying you guys probably can't see this because I could see that it wasn't very clear. So now I feel much more confident that you can actually see what I'm doing. Welcome, everybody coming in. So I feel better. So we're gonna get back to drawing. Let me see something. Doing one thing really quick. Sorry. I was just excited to see if it would actually show because I was getting very annoyed. Come back here. Okie dokie doke. Sorry. I kept pushing it back because I was supposed to go live a little while ago. I just kept pushing it back like what is going on? It's still blurry. So, all right. We are good. Close this out. I don't need this. I don't need any of this stuff open. And I can get back to, and it's actually, I can actually see the detail that I'm putting in all that work and nobody could see anything. So I was like, what is going on? So here we go. Let me move this over. All right, cool. So today I'm going to be working on this eye. Let me see. I'll be working on this eye because it feels a little off here. It feels big, too big. So I'm gonna try to close this up a little bit, bring the lower lid up before I start going back into details like I was doing on this side. So that's the goal for today. And let me see. The easiest way for me to do that, because I did start putting in details last week. So the easiest way for me to be able to do that, let me get rid of this. I got stuff open that I don't need open. Okay, that's good. So the easiest way for me to do this is going to be using just a regular eraser and dulling it down. Anytime you do a correction and you're erasing, you don't want to just go ahead and erase the whole thing because then you have to deal with all the adjustments that you made around it instead of just moving up. Last week, I did a lot of detail on this side, and when I got over here, I realized how far out and how off I was on the right hand side. So today, I'm going to be bringing this in. I'm going to close this eye out a little bit, close out the iris a little bit. Yep. So that's what I'm doing today. Where is the? I gotta get my picture up, my reference drawing. You guys can't see my reference drawing either. I was supposed to bring that too. I'm failing. All right. So the angle is right. I need to come down more on this side and then close off down here. So I'm really just going to be dulling out this. When I say dulling out, I'm slightly erasing until it gets to the tone of everything else around it versus just harshly erasing and then having to do more adjustments than is necessary. So essentially I'm just blending it in with the eraser though. There's many ways to do this. You can, like as you can see, I already brought it in. There's many ways to do this. You can use a kneaded eraser, But again, like I said last week, when you're dabbing, that's what this one is for, getting rid of general areas. Sharper, there's really no way to make this sharp enough to actually use, which is why I'm using the other eraser. And I'm bringing this all down. And I'm probably going to bring all of this in, which is going to bring this whole thing in even more than it was last week, which is crazy because I thought I was lined up. And I clearly was not. Clearly was not. Let me get rid of all of this. So I'm not impacting anything around it because I'm not pressing down hard and erasing, because harsh erasing is not good unless you're planning on starting completely over. Harsh erasing is not going to help you, at least in a situation like this. So as you can see, I literally just got rid of all the shading that was around here. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Let's do, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to just keep bringing this in. Even here, I'm getting rid of all of this work that I did last week. And it wasn't really my focus. My focus was detailing. And I saw this was a little off, but I in order to stay focused, I got to wait. I can't just attack everything that I see. So I focus on one thing, get it done, and then move back over to wherever I saw the problem earlier. And we're going to use, this is also the reason why I was not using 2B last week. So I told you guys 2B is it's harder, so it sticks to the paper. And this is for when you're done and you know how you want to get things. So I can use it over here because I'm not coming back to any of this. The only time I'm coming back to all of this is for detail. So 2B, don't touch until it's the very end and all the last stuff that you're doing. 4B and 6B is great for drawing because you can manipulate it. It's softer, so it doesn't go into the gradient of the paper. It just sits on top so that you can smear it around. That's what I use this for, just smearing stuff. That's what this is for. All right. I may actually pull more off the top too. So yeah. And this is going to allow me to bring all of this in. And even this, but I'm going to wait. I'm not going to do any focus on it here until I'm satisfied with how far I brought the corner in. I'm just going to dull it out so it all looks the same. So you're actually drawing with the eraser. Because that's how I'm evening it out. What's going on? Not worth it? Let's see. So we're going to bring this. So in my reference, it's harsher going down this way, which I think is what was catching my eye. So actually, I'm going to get rid of all of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. So I'm dulling everything over here and essentially in a controlled way redoing the eye. And I think a big mistake that people do when they see something off is they go too harshly on the area that they want to erase, and some of it is salvageable. So that's a big, big, big mistake, and it's a waste of time too. So I'm bringing the eye in closer on the edge. And you got to remember to always look at your reference. I have the reference here. You guys just can't see it. I'm taking a risk here by moving this. I'm taking a big risk. Yeah, I'm not going to do it because it was gonna. If I moved it and the camera fell, that would have stopped the whole lot. So never mind. I was going to show you guys a reference. I can show people on YouTube the reference. I just can't show people on TikTok the reference, unfortunately. So on YouTube, you guys can see it. I apologize. I really should have had this all set Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. It's on my desktop. Always improvise instead of erase. Absolutely. So for YouTube, issue with the file. What? All right. Maybe I won't be able. I might not even be able to show YouTube. No, I don't know what's going on. But I'm not going to spend too much time. Oh, there it is. So YouTube, you guys can see it. That's the reference. Remove that. So that's the reference. So the issue I have is right here, right now. That's the issue of the day. There's been issues. I've done a lot of adjusting on this one, but I'm really happy with this, which is very rare. I'm usually not happy. Like I'm usually very, very, very overly critical. So I'm told. I don't think I am, but people have told me that I am, and it's caused me to throw away many drawings, tear up, rip up, erase, stop use or stop drawing. So I don't want to do that. So I'm learning patience. I'm not very good with patience. So we just brought the eye in a lot. You guys probably can't tell because I already smoothened it out. But you'll tell when I'm adjusting this, you'll see the big difference. Because this was perfectly proportioned with the eye, which means the eye was coming all the way out to here. Now I'm bringing it all in. He said I never finish anything. I do. So now I'm bringing the eye in closer, which is going to allow me to properly do the size of the iris here. And that's also actually going to help me with my shading too. Yeah, that's good. This is the angle that I wanted. It's supposed to bulk around here and then come down here. Wow. So I'm actually going to be bringing this whole thing in again. That's crazy how off it was. You only can tell how off it is when you start making adjustments like this. And the reason why it was really jacked up in the first place, I explained it last week, but I was drawing, and just so I can get it on camera, I had this on an angle so that the camera could capture it, and I was drawing kind of off to the side, so it just looked a mess. Thank you everybody who's in over on TikTok. Appreciate everybody in there. So we're gonna bring. Yeah, so even this is now smaller. The eyeball is now smaller, which is cool because I felt it was too big, but I did not want to focus on that last week. I just wanted to finish the part that I was doing. Oh, I know, not worth it. I know. So now it still looks kind of big, but it's better. I'm much, 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 much more satisfied with how this is now. Much more satisfied. Now I can do a little bit more harsh erasing because I'm going to start using a more sharp. If you notice, this one's really dull because I don't care about it. It's not doing any detailing. It's literally here for the just for outlining and shading. So now I can start the real work. The real work starts with a smaller stump. You notice I was filling in with this one. This is for just larger areas. It's just really, really tight wound paper. I'm using a smaller version of that because I'm getting closer. And then after I do that, I'm getting even closer with an even smaller one. And then after that, I get even closer with an even smaller one. And I just keep going down, down, down. And that's how you dig into detail when doing any kind of portraits. Or that's how, I won't say that's how you do it. That's how I do it. Because again, each of these, the smaller they are, will fill in the holes within the texture of the paper better. And I'm gonna leave this dark over here because it's actually supposed to stay dark. So it's a good thing I didn't erase because there was no reason to. I didn't have to. And a little bit more shade here. Keep pulling back to see if yeah, this is better. I'm much, much, much more happy where I am now. And now I can get some more dark in here. I was holding off on any detail in here because I knew I was going to have to mess with this eye. So now I can bring this in more and then start doing what I did over here, over here. This is going to have to be adjusted. Actually, I'll do it just so you guys can see the difference in where the eye is now versus where it was. This is going to come out. This is now where the eyelid starts, which is crazy how far off it was. I actually may bring this down to. So yeah, so that's how far over the eye was. This was my eyelid. Huge difference. So now I can get rid of this completely. I don't need any of this. And the same thing, there's no reason to harshly erase here when I can just blend it into what I already have. And just doing this is going to bring in everything. It's actually going to bring my eyebrow in or his eyebrow in and push it all again. So I almost gave my father my big head. Huge difference. Huge difference. So again, this is going to bring everything over. So now I got to adjust all of this up here. This is not as important. I don't have to be careful with my erasing. I can just do this because it's going to be an eyebrow anyway. So this is more shading. And I don't have to be as careful. I was being careful in here because this is all important. There's going to be detail here. Here, it's just going to be hair. So it's not important at all. At all. We can get darker now. So now I can get back to, for me, the fun stuff. I actually love doing the really, really, really harsh or close details. Really enjoy that. I can close this out now. All the stuff I was scared to do before. Not scared, but I just did not want to touch it because I knew I was going to be getting back to it. How you doing, Junior? Gus, Sam, Mohammed Shahid, Tung, Rex LZ, StarTech, Flavamanda, Ton, Toxica, Skeet Latrice, Stalin. That's just crazy. There's a lot of people. Awesome. Thank you all for joining. I cannot read that last name. That's not even in English. It's Nicole, Eli. Hello. How you guys doing? Share the live also. Share it. You know anybody who's interested in art? They might, I don't know if they'll enjoy this, but they might learn or just be interested in what I'm doing or how the technique. Because I do things a little bit differently. Keontae, how you doing? What's up? So now I'm thinking I'm bringing this in, but I'm not going to do it right now. So now the area that I'm scared to touch is right here. I'm not going to put any details here. I'm going to do everything focusing up here because I feel like I need to touch that nose area. So I'm just not going to touch it. That'll probably be for the next time I come in. And the rule that I cannot stress enough, the top eyelid should always be darker than the bottom. Always. He said it looked like glue. Thank you, Keontae. Appreciate that, man. And if I listen to my wife, I'd be able to show you guys a reference so you guys can have a better idea of what I'm doing. I mean, it's a drawing of my father, but you guys would be able to see the picture that I'm using as the reference. How you doing, UK boy? Appreciate the like, man. Appreciate it. All right, so now we can start getting the pupil. And then after the pupil, we can bring some white charcoal in. I love, love, love using the white. Because now you guys should be able to see the white that I use in here better than last week. Last week was bad. What's up, Venom? Last week was like, it was just blurry. It was, like I said, it was kept focusing on my hand. So anytime my big head came into the screen or my hand came into the screen, it would zoom in on that and then blur out the drawing. I'm like, they can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm really glad that it's that you guys can actually see the work that I'm putting in. I really don't need white here, but I'm gonna still leave some only because the other side has some. It'll look kind of weird, but I'm gonna dull this down a lot because on the reference, there is no white here. I just usually like to match that, even though the drawing doesn't have that. User, blah, 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 what's up? uh, yeah, so this is better. So if you're using a reference, it does not have to be exact. But if you can get the eyes of a person, you will capture who that person is. And people will recognize it, even if it's not perfect. Even if it's not perfect, you will capture that person. And then what you also can do, what's going on, Tina? What you also can do is when you're focusing, because I'm doing the eyes and you want to capture the eyes the right way, the rest of the drawing doesn't you really have to look at the person. But if you can get the eyes really good and then put in the detail, what's going on, James? That will make you focus on that area. So if the people know the person, how you doing, Kim? How you doing, Gerald? Once they focus on that area, they see the person, they remember the person. That's what you look at when you look at a person. Most people look at their eyes. So if you can capture that, you got it. I don't care what most of the rest of the picture looks like. Frank, what's going on? Tawana, how you doing? So that's what you're trying to capture. Because every time you speak with somebody, you're going to right here. And this other stuff, it does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but I'm saying if you capture this the right way, you got the person, which is why I focus so much up here. I start every drawing right here. Then I work my way across to here. Then I move to the rest because that's how you look at a person when you're looking at them. First thing you see is this, then you notice the other stuff. You don't notice anything else, not when you're close, not when you're up close and actually speaking with people. So it's so important, and I think people are more focused with getting the entire image. I've seen people focus on they're doing a full drawing and they're focusing on a shoe, and it's like, but you don't even have the eyes yet. So that's how I look at it. You might notice somebody's shoes, but you look at their face, you look at their eyes when you're drawing or when you're speaking to them. That's the order. The order that you look at somebody when you're talking to them is the order that I draw. How you doing, Jenny? Jenny Sue, Tina, Jeff? All right, so let me soften this up a little bit and before I put some white on top because this is still soft. So if I put white on top of this, it's going to be like more smudge. It's not going to look, it's not going to be harsh enough, if that makes any sense. So I'm dulling it. Rupert, how you doing, man? I'm dulling this, picking up some of that soft charcoal before I put in the white. And now, actually, now I can use the number 2, what I was telling you guys earlier, because it's harder, it's going to stay. Mike 1, what's up? Magnetism, how you doing? So now when I use this, this works much better with the white charcoal because the white charcoal won't smear this. always looking at my reference, because even when I'm doing my little improvising, like keeping that shine in there and stuff like that, it still has to somewhat look like the reference. Reference isn't it is important. I just don't. I just was downplaying because it's not as important as people think. The eyes are what it is. If somebody wants me to draw for them, and they give me a picture and I can't see the eyes very well, I don't do it. I ask for a different picture. I've always done that. Like, I need a high resolution picture so I can capture that, because that's what's important. They can have a really nice picture too, and they love the picture, but I'm not going to capture the person. Let me get that good. Vero, how you doing? Gina, what's up? Or Jin A? Jin Triple A? So yeah, I got to keep cleaning off the white, because once you're going over that, if you guys can like and share, that would be amazing. That would be really, really, really cool. All right, so now put some white in there. I'm gonna go right back over it. Actually, I'm gonna use a smaller one. So this, now I'm essentially using that paper. It's a stump. It's really tight wound paper. I'm using that to smear the black back over the white, and that's just how you get the contrast that you want. Just keep playing with it till you get the contrast to your preference. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I noticed as my father got older, he was in his 80s, his eyes got lighter. That was very interesting. And I asked him about it, because he didn't have any issues with his eyes. He just said, "Yeah, I know." That's all he said. Like, did the doctor say anything? He didn't say anything. Miss Felicia Harris, how you doing? Kika, Panda, Lizardo, or Lizardo's mom, how you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm much, much, much happier with this. It's a little light, but I'm okay with that because I'm not done. So I'm gonna come back to this. I finished with the eye details again to keep that as sharp as possible. But now it looks, for me, you guys, again, YouTube can see the reference, or they could see the reference that I'm doing. TikTok cannot, so I apologize. Kat, how you doing? Hello. So I moved this in from here, push it over, which is gonna affect this whole side again, which is why it looks generic, because I keep pulling it in, trying to get it right. And here's where the eyebrow is, and get rid of this 2B, because it's no good for this. This is how far in I'm pulling, so you guys can still see where the eyebrow shade was. This is how far it's coming in now, because on the reference, the eyebrow starts here, which is crazy. It always amazes me how off I am doing some of these things. And when I'm correcting, I'm like, oh wow, I was off. What was I looking at? But from literally from day to day, you can just see it differently, which is why it's why I'm drawing now in shorter increments. Just an hour is perfect for me, because I can go. I used to do drawing, like a full drawing, in like 3 hours. Just start it, finish it that same day. How you doing, Kite Shawazi? How you doing, Sergio? What's up? I used to draw really, really fast, and I still can, but I notice every time I come back to it, I look at it, I'm not happy with something, and that's what causes my frustration. Being off even a little bit would drive me crazy. So then I would erase everything. I would just do it. It was all wrong. Everything I used to do was wrong. Yoga, how you doing? So now, much more patient, and that's with everything. I'm just much more patient, and I'm willing to do it in small intervals where I can actually see it and say, oh, okay, I see where I went wrong. Because as soon as I get off live, I take this whole thing, set it over here, and I stand all the way to the front of the room, and I just stare at it for a little bit. For Calderon, how you doing? And that's where I see, okay, I'm gonna end up touching this over here tomorrow or on the next live. That's where I see all the mistakes. The further back I go, you can see it better. And if you guys ever follow or know of an artist named Chuck Close, been my favorite artist forever, and I didn't understand why he's my favorite artist, because there are artists that are technically better, but he's really, really, really good. And his work, the closer you get, the you can just see he would use, sometimes he would use like all circles and squares. And then the further back you get, it would literally look like a photograph. Amazing, amazing artist. But I learned from that if I'm gonna see my own work like his, I gotta step back. And he does massive, massive, massive drawings. Yeah, this is a big difference here. Huge difference here. Huge. So I'm bringing all these wrinkles in. You can see where they were. This one's coming all the way down here now. Which means I'm bringing all this in again. Let me see. He's got this one. He's got one coming down here now. And because this is soft, again, it's easier for me to, all this I can literally erase just by doing this, because it's not digging into the paper like a number 2 would. So it looks like this is definitely off. I could tell this is off because it's bowed, but I'm looking at where I'm going to be bringing the ear to. The ear might be right. The ear is going to be blurred, which is why there's 0 detail on either side. For me, it's just a placeholder. I think I still had the right lines here, down, around, here, wide. Okay, I think I had it right anyway. And I did it kind of generic last week. I did it just, again, as a placeholder, so I didn't draw my eyes. How you doing, Anonimo? What's up? Yeah, okay. So instead of going out like I have it going out, it's more straight up. It's more straight up here. He does not have the big, he did not have the big weird head that I have. So we get rid of all of that. Flora Joseph, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. None of that's important right now, so I'm doing this to get rid of all the extra, to get rid of all this extra stuff. And even if you're just stopping by and checking out, hit like. Hit like. It really helps. Even if you don't like it, hit like. How about that? Even if you hate it, hit like. Send people over here to hate. How you doing, Giselle? Abdul? All right, so that's more the shape of his head. This is good. Okay. Back to the eye. Because now all of this, not all of this, but a lot of this is going to change, because I'm going to dig deeper. I used this whole thing up, but I got more 6 and 4Bs. What was this? 6B. New one, freshly sharpened. DFAM, what's up? Mr. Yuck, what's up? Actually, this is still good. So I did do some adjusting last week. I guess I did a decent enough job. This came down a little bit more. It's not bad. So I did do a decent enough job with these, the wrinkles under the eye over here. I'm gonna lighten it up. I'm just doing, let's see. Okay, so none of this was really off. I just had the eye way too big. But it's actually decent. Okay. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Mr. Yuck. Thank you very much. Um, so actually, this is not. I thought I was going to be doing more work over here, but really, I'm going to be doing some shading. Okay, I can clean this up in here. That'll make this stand out. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Sports One, what's up? Thank you so much, Mr. Yuck. I don't know what that is. That looks like a devil emoji. Okay, devil emoji, what's up? So all of this needs to be lighter so I can bring this out. It gets rid of it almost looks like a really deep bag, but it's not. It's not. And then we can go back with our stump and get some real work done. Another reason why I work this way than down is because my hand's gonna be on here, and I don't like taking paper and putting it tissue paper and putting it here and taping and all that stuff. That's too much. If you just work the right way, you won't have to do all that extra work. Get this. And all of this, because it's 6B, I'm doing all this. I'll be able to dab it and make it lighter on the way back out of the drawing. I said this before, but if you guys weren't here when I said it, I didn't say it today. I always shade when I start doing detail. I always shade in the direction that the skin is flowing. So the nose is sloping here. You'll never see me shading like this unless it's really, really at the beginning stages. Once I start doing details, I'm going the way that the skin is flowing. If it's a nose, I'm doing all the motions. I'll be shading the exact same way that the skin is flowing. What's going on? Shakeen, Rich Saps, what's up, man? Probably gonna have to do some more. I'm gonna have to get closer using the smaller. This one's more. It does a completely different type of work. So you can see it's smearing away almost all the detail, but I'm getting the shading right. And I'll just keep going back over. What's going on, Brooke? So none of this really matters. It's more placeholders for me. So I'm not touching this yet. I want to, but I'm staying away. I'm being disciplined here. Alex, what's going up? Alex, for you. We got this. Let's go here. This is the end of this whole area here. There's a little highlight here that I'm going to leave. Now you'll see me harsh erasing because I'm going to want it white in here. And this will remind me to come back to this and make it, I'll use a white charcoal to come back here and highlight in there. Because it's small, but it's enough to, I don't want to forget that spot. I'm actually going to put a little bit on there right now, just so, because I almost went over it already. All right, that's a good placeholder. Steal some of this charcoal and bring it down. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Even this is picking up a lot of that charcoal and helping me smear it around. What's going on, Okaha? This is picking up a lot of that darker charcoal that I put in there, which is why by the time I'm done doing this, it won't be as dark. That was all helped, or that all that does is help me smear. All right. So I have the general area and all the shading needed for here. Okay. On time event planning, how you doing? All right. So none of this is as harsh. I guess I can just fill this in for now. Get rid of this extra, all this extra, because I had to reshape it a little bit. Just evening all this shade over here out. I'm gonna go back over it, but I'm just evening it out, so I can see the correct shape of the eyebrow. Not fully erasing. All right, that's what I wanted. I'm not going to add white to this side yet. I'm much happier with where we are today than even earlier. Actually, I'm so happy I'm going to use a 2B. I can bring some of this down now. So I did some really quick work on down here last week, and it's paying off because it's pretty accurate to where I know I'm gonna want it to be. So that's pretty cool. I don't want this right now. No, need that 2 back. That's white. I had it in my hand. All right, we can get back in here. 509, how you doing, Santana? This is too dark, but it is darker here. How you doing, Randy J? What's up? Time to dull down some of the highlights that I put in. Some of the white that I put in. You always do more than you need and then go back over and dull it out. Or I always do, sorry. I always do more than I need and then go back in and dull it out. It's easier than going in and trying to erase the spots that you want, erase it big, and then get around it. How you doing, Susie? So now I can get in closer as I want and get rid of a lot of the white, and then that leaves only the highlighted areas that are still almost fully white. I cannot read that name, but welcome, welcome. That is not English. Use my number 2 and dull more. Like I said, only some of this is supposed to be as light as it is. Then you have things like just skin texture that gets rid of a lot of that. So you're only having some. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, Hazel Eyes? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't need any of that up here. All right, and that is how I like to do my highlights. So I can get rid of all of this extra here. So only that's highlighted there. Good. So this one is supposed to be lighter, but it shouldn't be as light as this, which is why I keep going over and over and over and over. How you doing, Delois, Dean, Ark? What's up? So it's supposed to be light, but not as light. So I learn when I'm doing my contrasting, I blur my eyes and I can see. I look at my reference, which is over here. You guys can't see it. I look at my reference, I blur my eyes, and I come back to my drawing, and I blur my eyes, and I need to see the same highlights where they're supposed to be. That's how I do contrasting. It sounds weird, but it's a very easy way that I do it. Comedy Central, how you doing? You guys can hit like. That would be amazing. Whether you like it or not, just hit like. What else you got to do? So I'm still gonna stay away from down here for the day. Like I said earlier, I'll come back to down here. But now that I got the contrast how I kind of sort of want them, I'm gonna dull it with my kneaded eraser and lift up some of that, because it's the contrasts are right and everything's in the right area, but it's too dark. So you can see how much it picked up. When you knead it, it's really white. You knead it until you have it like this, and then when you can pick up some of the charcoal that's late that you put down, you can see how it just picks it up. Great, 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 great tool. What does it have me do a puzzle in the middle of a live on TikTok? They want to make sure I'm not asleep? What's that about? All right. That was weird. Mr. Drizzy, what's up? Drizzy. So all of this I can lift up a little bit. Cool. I'm happy with this. I'm very, very happy with this. Sloan Davidson, what's up, man? Much, 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 much better. But yeah, I do get really, really tedious, especially around the eyes when I'm doing detailing, because it's the most important thing to capture. If it's human, actually, even with dogs, how you doing? You pink too much. Even with dogs, animals, if you get the eyes, you got it. It's just, it's again, it's what we look at. Oh, I'm actually gonna use this one for here. VC. Oh, never mind. VC disappeared. Cindy, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. It feels too wide here, but proportionally it's right. So I may just have to do some erasing here. So even sometimes when something looks wrong, Sarbear, what's going on? Even when it looks wrong, it could just be that you need to do some erasing. So it doesn't look right because it's all the same shade. But once you start, or once I start erasing, is where I say, okay, it's not as bad as I thought, or it doesn't need the work that I thought. Because now it looks more like the drawing that I'm referencing here. So sometimes the shading can make something look more round or squared off or just off. And doing something like that can help you. It can help bring you back into the what you're looking at. Ann Rose, how you doing? McArmy, how you doing? So yeah, so plus I also have some filling in to do here, and because I didn't do that, it looks like it doesn't look exactly how I want. So me just doing this is good filler for next time I get back in here and draw. And that doesn't, so what I just did does not change this outline, but it fills it in here so it doesn't look as, I don't want to say bubbly, but it doesn't look as off to me as it did. Cool. How you doing, Nita? Nita Lyles? Yeah, so I'm ready to stop for the day. But yeah, so I actually did another day of correcting. I'm about to sneeze. Let me put this on, on mute so I'm sneezing, you guys. That was a good one. Candy corn, how you doing? I don't want to sneeze in you guys here. Imagine you having headphones on, somebody sneezing in your ear. That's gross. So yeah, so I actually did a lot of work here, brought this in even more, which is cool. I didn't know I needed to. But last week I had adjusted enough on this side so I didn't have to do as much work bringing anything more in. Just the eye came in. So next time I come in here, it's going to probably be more focused here and then going back to more detailing. That's all I got. Hudson and Rowe, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. User 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a funny name. Thomas, thank you. Aziz, thank you. Tomas, oh, that is the same one. Fernanda, thank you guys so much for joining. I think I said everybody else's name above you guys. I appreciate you. Like, please. Share. Come back next time. As I move down this way, this is going to change because again, this was mostly filler. But I'm from here up. I'm now really, really proud of where I am in the drawing that I'm referencing. From here up, I'm really, really, actually, really happy with where I am. So thank you guys so much, Larissa. Thank you, Joan. Appreciate everybody over on TikTok. We're done for today. Thank you. Share, like. And then over on YouTube, not worth it. I appreciate you as always. That's it, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very, very much. I might as well do my normal ending.